Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, hopefully I won't choke over my own words anymore. But we'll move past that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work. I found some shit to review for you. That is absolutely the case today. This particular item, I've been on the hunt for. I heard about it a few weeks back, and I was like, all right, I'm going to review that. So I've been keeping my eyes open, and today I got off of work, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to hit up the 7-Eleven. It's been a little bit since I've, properly explored the 7-Eleven verse. And went over there, I'm looking around. Sure enough, not only did they have it, they had both of it. So, what is it that I'm reviewing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be Boom and Boom, but I'm only going to review one. These are the new limited edition Pepsi flavors. You've got Pepsi Peach and Pepsi Lime. Ooh, just in time for spring. Kinda, spring's already been around for a little bit now. I'm going to review the Lime one for this one, but if you're interested in the Peach one, just wait till that next review comes up, because that'll be the next one. Now, the thing with the Lime one is Pepsi Lime already existed. It was a thing back in like the early 2000s. My dad was a really big fan of it. I was always a little bit more here or there, but like that was his jam. He was like, yeah, Pepsi Lime. And okay, so I figured what the fuck, we'll give it a go in honor of my dad and his love of a drink that I wasn't all that fond of at the time. But maybe that's changed. Who knows? Maybe it's a different formula. Unless I'm just thinking about Coke with lime, but I'm almost certain that we're talking Pepsi with lime. Ooh, okay. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't make this as part of their soda shop line, because that's like their sort of premium sodas that they have. Well, either they changed the formula, or I'm thinking of Coke with lime. I am all but certain that there was a Pepsi with lime. But I think there was also a Coke as well. Because here's the thing. That's a lot more palatable than I remember Pepsi Lime being. Now, that could be a lot of things. Like I said, it could just be maybe they changed the formula. Maybe I'm remembering things incorrectly. Maybe my taste buds just suck a lot more now that I'm like damn near 20 years older. That could be it. But yeah, like it's a much more mild lime flavor than I remember the first time around. Like that was kind of my issue with it the first time, was that it just was like way too much of a punch to the face, and I didn't really like that. But this, it's more like they've decided to blend it in more with the cola. And, I mean, I could kind of see that being a thing. Like, that's, Pepsi's done that before, where, they did, like, the the cream soda Pepsi and the black cherry Pepsi, where they tried to, it wasn't just about giving it flavor, they tried to blend it in with the Pepsi flavor. I think that's what they did with this lime one, is I feel like they just kind of, instead of trying to have it stand out too much, they're just letting it be part of the experience. Only thing is, if anything, I think they went a little bit too far in the other direction. It doesn't really stand out very much. It's very kind of, okay. And I mean, that's, unfortunately one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type situations. Like, you're never going to, please 100% of the people 100% of the time. In this case, I think, back when I was a kid, it might have been a little bit too potent. Whereas now, being much older, it feels like, yeah, I want a little bit more zing, and it's not really there. Mostly it just tastes like a Pepsi with kind of a light citrus sort of flavor to it. I wouldn't even go as far as to say that it has like a strong lime flavor, really. It's kind of, I don't know, it's there, but it's not as striking as I was expecting or even kind of hoping. It definitely adds something to the overall. It gives a little bit more, like it kind of lightens it up a little bit. Pepsi, for me, compared to Coke, is a little bit heavier. It's got a little bit more sugar in it, I believe. It's definitely a sweeter cola. This kind of breaks that up a little bit, so it gives a little bit more of a refreshing aspect, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I have to admit, I was expecting more of a kick-ass lime flavor. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one. I came in expecting something that I would, be familiar with from, days long since past, and instead I'm getting this, sort of half-assed version of it. But at the same time, like, I probably prefer it. It's a little bit more drinkable. Yeah, I don't know. There's something to it, but not as much as I would like. Well, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Let me even tag on a third one. Does this Pepsi Lime go over there and properly honor my dad? I'm going to go with probably not, sure, and no. I think for me personally, I don't mind it. I think it's fine. I couldn't, I don't know, man. It's just not, there's not enough to it. There's not enough personality. And especially since, like, Pepsi's been hyping this up a little bit. Like, at the very least, I've been getting a bunch of articles about it. I would have expected a lot more from it. Pepsi typically delivers when it comes to their flavor. I think about, like, their Pepsi Mango. Plenty of flavor in that. The Pepsi Pineapple, famously. And by the way, I've reviewed both of those. So go look up those reviews. But this one, I don't know. I think maybe they just dialed it back too much. I mean, that makes me a little bit worried about the peach one because I was hopeful for the peach, but now, we'll have to see. But yeah, for me, it's not a bad drink. I don't dislike it, but there's not enough to it for me to really go in for it. It's like, I think if I wanted a Pepsi, I'd just get a Pepsi, and this, while it does add in a little something, it's a bit too minute to really be something I feel the need to go back for. If I'm recommending it to other people, your mileage may vary. At the end of the day, how I taste things and experience things is going to be different for other people. This is one of those things, I think if it seems enticing to you, give it a go. I think if it's something where you're really not all that engaged with it, fuck it. It's not anything you need to go out of your way for. But if you run into it, you want to give it a go, sure. At the very least, it's not bad. It's just underwhelming. And I think if you go into it with that expectation, maybe you'll have a better experience than I did. And then, yeah, going to my third thing, yeah, this is definitely not a proper soda to honor my father as much as he liked the original. Again, maybe it was Coke with lime that he liked more. I don't remember, I mean, we're talking damn near 20 years ago, so. I just remember it was a cola with lime, and I thought it was Pepsi. I didn't like it very much. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Excuse me. Ooh. That was the citrus hit. Ooh, it all just kind of came back up at once. And then have yourself just a absolutely honor-tastic rest of your life. I think more people, and I'm not saying that I'm always the most honorable guy ever, but I try to be, have my own code of honor, that I sort of adhere to and stuff like that. It's a little fluid, which kind of defeats the purpose sometimes, but final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you have like a nostalgic drink from your past, that maybe you didn't like very much. But, maybe it just stuck in your head because it was just a thing. If you do, let me know what it is. I'd be interested to hear about that kind of stuff because, it is a thing where, everybody has like these very different experiences. Like famously for myself, I say famously like anybody gives a shit, but for myself, I'm a big fan of Coke Black. I loved Coke Black. Still do. They brought it back with the coffee or the Coke with coffee, and then they got rid of that because the world hates me. But I really like that stuff. But a lot of people did not, And hey, different strokes for different folks. But you people failed me when I needed you most. I needed my Coke Black back. So, just so we're aware, you all fucking owe me. And one day, at a time of my choosing, y'all be paying that back. Trust me. Anyway.